Welcome to Speaking from the Purple Couch, where we explore the depths of human experience. We share stories, issues, and situations that will ignite understanding and empowerment. Subscribe and be part of the journey. Because empowerment begins with conversation.
Hello and welcome. Today is December the 18th. It is Thursday. On yesterday, if you can recall, we talked about the ACA expiring and talking about how the Democrats was able to negotiate with and get 4 Republicans to actually sign. So it would be 218 that would actually force the vote to the floor. And I stated that, this was really time sensitive because they were supposed to go on recess for the holiday next week. But let's talk about what has happened. Millions are set to lose their coverage or be deciding between their mortgage, their rent, and their health insurance. You know, everybody, I want to welcome you back to the channel today. I have this continuing story that isn't just frustrating, it's frankly enraging. It's about how political gamemanship, because it's a game to these folks, it's literally threatening the healthcare of millions of Americans right as we head into the holidays. We're talking about the Affordable Care Act subsidies, the very subsidies that make healthcare affordable for so many, and how they are set to expire. And the person standing in the way of the solution is House Speaker Mike Johnson. Yes, for those who might not know, the Affordable Care Act has been a lifeline for millions for how many years? 15 years. Yes, of course, it may need some little tweaks and twerks, but it has been working for millions. And a key part of making that accessible has been federal subsidies that help lower monthly premiums, deductibles, and out of pocket costs. These subsidies were expanded during the pandemic and have been absolutely crucial in ensuring that working families, small business owners, and people who don't get insurance through their employer can actually afford to see a doctor when they need one. It also allowed people who had pre-existing conditions to start getting care. But here's the kicker. Those enhanced subsidies are set to expire at the end of this month. We're talking about a matter of weeks. Well, 2 weeks, one maybe in some cases. Now, recognizing this looming crisis, again, we talked about how the Democrats in the House, they've been working tirelessly. They understand the gravity of the situation. And against significant odds, they were able to manage to convince or negotiate with 4 Republicans to secure a pathway to bring a vote on extending these critical subsidies to the House floor. And believe me, I'm sure it was not easy. It required political skill, perseverance, and a deep understanding of House rules to create a discharge petition that could bypass leadership and force this vote. And they did it yesterday. They created a path to protect millions of Americans from losing their affordable health care. You would think, given the stakes, that this would be a moment of bipartisan action, right? We're going to come together, a chance to show that despite our differences, we can agree on something as fundamental as keeping people healthy. But no, Speaker Johnson had a different plan, a plan that can only be described as cruel and utterly cynical. The House was scheduled to break for holiday recess next week. Next week. You hear me? So it already was a tight timeline, but in a move that blindsided many, and in what can only be interpreted as a desperate attempt to avoid this vote on the ACA subsidies, Mr. Speaker suddenly announced an early holiday recess. He sent everyone home, sent them packing and out the door this week. Let that sink in for a moment. Millions of Americans are facing the prospect of losing their affordable health care, potentially being unable to afford life saving medications or necessary doctor visits, all because their premiums are about to skyrocket. And when a mechanism was found to address this, to vote on a solution, the Speaker of the House decided to pull the plug, shut it down. He shut down Congress and sent everyone home for the holidays early, early, specifically to avoid that vote. How is that not an act of profound indifference, if not outright malice towards who? The American people. Over 20 million people are going to be affected. Who does this hurt? It hurts the single mom trying to make ends meet. It hurts the small business owner who relies on the marketplace for coverage. It hurts the senior who isn't yet Medicare eligible but needs access to affordable care. Even those retirees. It hurts every single person who will see their premium jump, their deductibles rise, and their ability to access health care diminished, all because of one man who decided to play political games with their well-being. This isn't about policy disagreements anymore. This is about basic human decency. This is not how our government is supposed to work. Our elected officials are supposed to represent us, to fight for our best interests, to use procedural maneuvers to actively prevent a vote on something so vital, so intentionally throwing millions of people into healthcare uncertainty right before the holidays. It's not just a dereliction of duty, it's an act of immense cruelty. It speaks volumes about where Speaker Johnson's priorities lie. And it's clearly not with the health and financial security of everyday Americans. I do say. So, what can we do? Again, all we can do is raise our voices. We need to call our representatives, but it looks like, you probably won't get an answer for most of the Republicans, but we need to call both Democrats and Republicans. It is so much going on that Congress needs to step it up on both sides of the aisles and demand that everybody return to Washington and take action on these expiring subsidies because they can override the recess and come back. They can. We need to share this information and just think about that whole time when the shutdown happened that they was missing in action. Okay, you done had your vacation. It's time to come back to Washington and do what needs to be done. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege, and we cannot let political maneuvering undermine access to it for millions of people. As you enjoy your own holidays, please remember the millions who will be entering the new year with the added stress and burden of potentially losing their affordable health care, all because of a calculated, cold hearted political move. It's truly unacceptable. I am I am I am just I am hotter than fish grease. You know, it's so beyond. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what else to say anymore. I don't know what else to pray anymore because this is cruel. Cruel and unusual punishment for people who don't need to be punished. Who need to be punished is the folks in Congress because it is outlandish what is going on right now. Outlandish. You know, I'm trying to I don't know what I'm trying to do. And this whoever this person is, uh you're banned. Shadow, whatever you are, you're banned. I don't have time for craziness. This is not a time to be coming on here telling me to be quiet. You be quiet and get to stepping. I'm telling you, my block game is on point. This is so ridiculous. You know, where's does anyone have a heart anymore? Does anyone care for real? Does anyone in Congress really want to stand up for the constituents that put them there? They got their health care on lock, okay? Their health care is on lock in the congressional folks. So what? They just not gonna care? You know, I'm just kind of done right now. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, to the forefront, just a follow up from yesterday. And I was even saying they can decide not to even go when I thought they was going to recess next week. But then ooh, but then he decides to send everybody a packing today to avoid the vote. How sway. Again, I'm just asking everyone if you can call who you must, and I'm just praying that how can you say have a great holiday when this is right on the forefront of so many people's mind? Millions. It ain't two, three, four, five, 6, 10 people. This is over 20 million people will be affected by that. You all have a blessed evening. Um, and I hope you all have sweet sleep. And if a miracle can happen, if we looking for a Christmas miracle, I just hope it can come forth before December 31st. If not, I just hope somehow a miracle will take place for these millions of people who are going to be at a major crossroad, not knowing if to turn left, right, go forward, go backwards, or jump. Blessings.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.